everybody, and welcome along to the next round of the WCS BMW Championship. We are here at the Red Bull Ring for 3 races of brilliant action from this fantastic circuit. Not the longest circuit on the map, but it's one of the circuits which I think is going to provide some fantastic racing over the course of this season. I'm Joshua Anderson. I'll be taking to the action today, and joining me is none other than the fantastic Mr. Sam Jones.
Yes, hello Josh, hello everyone, good evening, and well, it's good to be back, and well, my first time out here for this league, these BMWs here, and I'm really quite intrigued as to how it's all going to go, so I can't wait to check out the action and see what's about to happen.
Yeah, it should be a very, very good race. We've just come out of qualifying and we'll be going through the starting grid as soon as the session starts. That is the first race, of course. 3 races in this championship per race session. We have 1 race, then 2 races, then 3 with reverse grids and the usual shebang for touring cars. It was formerly a sprint and feature format, but that was changed pre-season because it just works out better, I think, that we do the shorter format of races, 20, 20 and 20 minutes, all for each. And it's going to be an interesting circuit to race BMWs at this champ because it's not usually one associated with touring cars. No,
it certainly isn't. I assume that we've probably had DTMs here in the past, I don't really know, but certainly not a touring car kind of track. A lot of straights, not very many corners, so not too difficult to learn this track here, but certainly it's got plenty of opportunities for overtaking, and of course, my mind going back, there has been a lot of DTM action here, because I can think of some very infamous races and some very infamous incidents, especially down at turn 3. So what will happen today, it'll be interesting, but I think we're going to see quite a bit of argy-bargy, bit of banging outdoors, as the cars have plenty of opportunities to overtake one another through practically every single corner on this track, actually.
Yeah, it's not a track that really hides the fact that it's good at overtaking opportunities. I'm sure we'll see a lot of overtakes going on at this circuit. 19 cars will take the start of this race. And of course, we've had German touring cars at the A1 ring in the past. Now we're going to have touring cars of a different German nature at the Red Bull ring. So it's going to be very interesting to see how this goes. And, well, Turn 1, going to be interesting, especially because it's uphill, it's right, it's unique in its own right, and it's a right that will prove that racing can be done right. There's a lot of rights, and there's some lefts on this circuit, of course, as well. There's the significant double left-hander that is Pirelli and Worth, rather. But we're going to get to that, because we now have the starting grid for the race, and we're going to be taking you through that as soon as the lights go green. But good-looking field for this race one then, Sam.
Yeah, it's certainly a good-looking field. Lots of talent throughout. It's my first time really being able to check it out, really. But very familiar names like Brugman, Wannermuller, De Vries, Argo Tedar, Zal. There's so many of them that I could go through, and they're all lining up on the grid now. So it's going to be a close one, and battles throughout the field, I predict.
Yeah, battles are one thing I'm sure we will not be lacking in this race. So here we go. Lars Brugman qualified on pole position. He will lead the field into turn 1 on lap 1 in that Wouters Automotive BMW. And then it is Ilja Bricalo, our championship leader on 56 points, just 4 ahead of his nearest rival. Ilja Bricalo will start in P2 for YTF1. Then it is Patrick Vanderbola in 3rd place, and then Argo Tida in the CM-Tech car making an entry here for the Austrian race here in 4th place. Then it's Sven de Vries, who is currently 6th in the championship in the other Wouters car. Roy Vizal, who made his BMW debut and won the very first race that he entered in P6 in that Hinz Motorsport car, having made the switch full time now. Then it's Peter van Vandenberg in the VR46 car in P2. 47, then it's Lucas Luridis in P8 in the Thunder Motorsport BMW, then Simon Watman P9 in that Backmarker Legends car, who did so well at Donington Park, and I can expect he'll have another good race here at the Red Bull Ring. Wesley Stefano will start in the Hinz car, P10 if you'd like to go through the rest of the field, Sam.
Yeah, absolutely. So we've got Borna Spolaric in P11 for YTF1 with Niels Voss lining alongside him on row 6, but Boonhas Racing. I'm probably butchering a few of these names, but I'll get them right eventually. Chris Kinsman is in 13th for CM Tech Racing, with Mark Wicks lining up alongside him for Street Fighter Racing Systems. Then we've got Can Yildiz for Thunderbolt Sports in P15, and Brett Metcalf in P16. And finally, rounded out the final three places is Pedro Rodriguez for VR46 Racing Team, Adam Oscar P80 for Deltec Racing, and at the back of the grid, all on his own, is Matthias Wattman for Backmarker Legends.
Yeah, Matthias Wattman rounding out the field. Is there anyone in particular he could hope for a win here in race 1 this time?
I've had very little to check out the drivers here today, so it's going to be a difficult one to go by. I know that there was certainly a lot of points taken by Agila Bricalo in the first round, so I'm actually going to go for Bricalo from second place to win this one.
Fair choice indeed. I'm going to tout. I'm going to go for Argentino. Actually, I just think he's going to have a really good crack at this, and he can be a very, very quick driver on his day, Argo, so do keep a very jolly eye on him this race as the cars line up for the run down into Castrol Edge, the turn 1. So here we go then, the A1 ring, now the Red Bull ring. It's changed name, but the racing probably isn't going to change from being brilliant to brilliant. We got 1 light, 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, well 3 just, and we'll go here in Austria, and Bricalo seems to have got a decent start of the run, but look at Tina, he's got a better start than both of them, he's going to jump the both of them into Castrol Edge into turn 1, and he seems to have got the best start out of anybody as Argentina, and he's jumped everyone to take the lead after just 1 corner. Brugman gets a good start, as does Mazzile, and Roy moves into third. Keep an eye on him, he can be moving and shaking in this race. Riccardo fourth as well, decent going down. Van Bamberg's had an incident in the back, but Argentina leads all into Remus now. But Ruckman behind, and then Vazal, then Riccardo and De Vries battling it out for P4 as well. And those two BMWs, and it looks like Riccardo got it squiggly now. It's going to let De Vries have a go around into turn 3. Vanderbilt adjusting the ball on those, but Yorick behind as well. We got Battles up down the field. 9th looks to be under pressure. Woman's being chased by Kinsman. Stefano chasing Watman, and Watman chasing Lucas Lourdes ahead. We got Lodups as we go through 3 now. Riccardo and De Vries both chugging it out. Bazile gets me squealing out of there as well. But Brugman and Tina battling it out as we come through into 4 and 5.
Yeah, really good start. Relatively clean, and Brugman is right on the back of Tina right now. As I just see further back, I think it was that Wadamuller going. Oh, he's got off with Brugman. Oh dear! They've got wide at 5. And
oh, and he rejoins into Eric!
Yeah, gets sideways and actually recovers it, doesn't he, Josh? Gets back onto the track and only loses about 2 positions back down to 9.
Yeah, well, look at this though. Argentina under serious pressure from Ross Brugman though. These two jigging it out for the lead all throughout the first lap of this race. Round Red Bull Mobile to come, and it's going to be Brugman on the run down into Castrol Edge once again, who's going to have the advantage. But if Argo can hold the inside, he's going to make his life very difficult. But that won't stop Lars Brugman, I don't think. He's going to have another Wesley Stefano pits now, I do believe, and yep, blocked perfectly, not blocked, blocked up perfectly, doesn't have the line. Brugman, and in fact, Tina's going to try and go defensive into Remus, but the run down is so long, he's going to have difficulty.
Yes,
oh!
To the outside, and there's no room for him there, but he's going to stick to where he wants to go. He's going to take the racing line up into turn 2 and try and get the cut back on Tina, but not quite able to do it. Tina's actually got a really good exit from 2 there. Suddenly Brugman's looking behind him as Roy Mazal and Sven Rees go side by side towards 3. De Vries has gone to the outside. It's going to be who can be the last of the late breakers.
Oh!
Make a bit of contact there, a bit of rubbing, and De Vries is looking for the switchback. He gets under the wheel of Mazal, and now he's going to be on the outside once again as we go to turn 4.
Yeah, these two jigging it out for P3 very well. This is the last podium place, and they both wanted through Pirelli and Verth. Here they come. Rosario seems to have gone a bit wide. That's not going to stop him from rejoining. He's using all of the track, as you're allowed to do. And Sven De Vries not really finding a way past the Dutchman here, but I think he's going to try and stick it down range if he's feeling a bit raunchy here. But I doubt Sven if he's got, he's being sensible about it. He thinks he needs to be at this stage in the race. 12-lap race, of course, and he doesn't want to take any risks, but risks must be taken to get into the lead, and Lars Brugman's going to go for the lead here. Argentina goes wide in Red Bull Mobile, and he's going to try and do it on the inside of Castrol Edge, but the line isn't there. Tina's holding it perfectly, and he's going to have to do the Sahara if he wants through into Red Bull Mobile, starting lap 3, and Brugman is going to hold, but there's not really any room, but he's managed to hold it side by side. He's going to be on the outside going into Remus, and it's going to be hard for him to get through, because if he doesn't get the line here, he's going to have to brake late and turn. He's going to have to do it Rosberg, except he's going to have to turn for the corner sooner than Nico did, and he's not going to get the chance. But again, this track owes itself to overtaking opportunities, and they have just have another go at Roach. As we go to Freeze and Bizarre battling it out as well behind. Of course, these two are going to have a go to Roach as well. Keep an eye on both battles. These are so close, these cars. And of course, as the longer that Argo and Lars battle, Sven and Roy can catch up. Sven has actually gotten past Roy Bizarre somewhere along the line as well. So he has moved into P3. It is about us 2-3 at the moment. But this four-way battle for the lead, effectively, is on, because if any of these three ahead of Roy Bizarre make mistakes, he's going to be there to pick up the pieces.
Yeah, it's starting to close up, but once again, they're running quite wide there through coming out turn 4 and into turn 5. Look at that, Tino's having to try and go for everything, and Brugman's actually got past.
He has!
Went off the track a little bit, and Brugman took the opportunity, and he's blitzed Tino into turn 6. Well clear of the driver now, and oh no, he's...
Oh, there he goes! Lars Brugman off, and now into 4th place. He's lost it to Ricardo, and Vanderbilt is going to have a decent run as well. Lars Brugman, well, Argentina make a mistake. I don't know whether that shook him or not, but he's just, yeah, he dropped it too much on the curb, went round, and now he's seeded that place. But he's put today, very luckily for his thinking maybe, back into the lead, but he's going to be under attack from Sven de Vries and Remus now, and Sven is going to try and force it down the inside. Argo won't let him though, but Sven's going to force it. He's going to force his way through, down into the corner here, but Argo's going to break it and he holds it. But not for long, because Sven gets the cut back, goes too wide contact with Bizarre with Tina, and that's Sven de Vries leads.
Yeah, de Vries has got the lead now, and now it's all up to Tina and Bizarre to go side by side down towards Schlossgold, who can break latest, and Tina's going to try and hold it round the outside.
Oh!
Goes in there. There's more banging between the two and on exit as well, and still they haven't separated it out. They haven't worked this one out at all. The two BMWs are going to fly into turn 4 now. Again, side by side. This time, Tina can return the punishment that he received. Bizarre gets a bit loose on the outside of the corner, lose a bit of momentum because of it, and they're still side by side. They just can't separate themselves. Finally, Bizarre's got...
Oh, Ricardo! Yeah, but Carlos decided he's going to seize on the opportunity to go past both of them. He thinks he can have both into he can't have both into it. No, he knows he can't, but he's going to put the pressure on. Tina and Vidal battling. It's just holding up them enough to get Lars Brugman back in the battle as well. Patrick Vanderbilt is hungry too. He wants to go. And all the while, Sven de Vries is just running away with it. This is not what Argentina wanted.
Yeah, it's certainly helping the rest behind to catch up as Bracalo again just pokes his nose out going into turn 1 just to let Tino know that he's there, but not quite close enough. But Tino's actually made a mistake coming out 1. Another mistake that we see from him there, and that's allowed Bracalo to get over the inside as we go up the hill towards turn 2. Has this been enough for Bracalo to be able to pull in front? Not quite, but he's really squeezing Argo right there. And Bracalo now got the perfect line, runs it out wide on exit, actually goes over the curbing and nearly loses it, but holds on to take the position. So he's now up into 3rd place.
Yeah, this is a big battle going on here. It's a massive fight between the two of them. Both of them want 3rd as equal as they want any of the positions. Lars Brugman gets very close on the break in there. Thought he was going to go into the back of him, but he doesn't. And, well, this is a very, very brilliant little battle we've had. We've already had 5 laps of this race, and surprisingly, with it being such a short track, this is almost halfway distance.
Yeah, it's going quickly, isn't it? And I thought there was only going to be 4 cars, 4 drivers in this to begin with, but the way the guys behind have been able to catch up for all this battling has been excellent stuff for us. And Lars Brugman, after that mistake a couple of laps ago, he now finds himself on the back of Argo to there once again after, getting past him once, then making a mistake. He's right behind him again, applying the pressure, and Argo's definitely looking a bit squirrely. I think that's Roy Vital has wide the last corner, come back into the track, but he's now going to be under pressure from Bracalo.
Yeah, Bracalo's is going to chuck it down Castro Edge when he breaks a bit earlier, actually. He doesn't. This is going to let Tina and Brugman catch up. Brugman, though, does chuck it into Castro Edge and gets through past Tina in turn 1. While it's a popular overtaking spot for some drivers, and Argo Tina, the victim of a Brugman down the inside there. Rizal starting to fall into the prey of Bracalo, perhaps. But remember, the more these battle, the more Sven de Vries is going to get away, because it's holding them up, and it's allowing them to charge perhaps towards a race victory here in Austria.
Yeah, it certainly is, as Sprolaric has just passed Simon Watman for 7th place up at turn 2, just dived it up the inside and got the position to just about kept it on the track as well. He nearly ran out of racing space but held on to it. It's now Bricalo once again looking for 2nd place. He's looking up the inside, taking all the tight lines, but still being able to keep the momentum up, and he's getting closer and closer and really putting all the pressure on Vasal right now, going through the infield section of this track.
Oh, and he's gone off there as Vasal. He's had a bit of an off, and he's managed to get it back on the track, which is good on him. But that's not going to help anything, as he's starting to run a bit wide here, perhaps thinking, you know, maybe he's starting to feel a bit of pressure from Bricalo. It must be pretty frustrating for him not being able to catch up to Sven de Vries, because he's too busy defending Romeo Bricalo and the YTF1 behind. And I can understand, because he wants to go for the lead, but he can't. He's stuck defending against Ilde, which is making him slow down. And now Lars Brugman wants to have a go at the Croatian as well. Argentina seems to have dropped off Patrick Gurnemuller, his main threat now. And it is going to be an interesting battle between these two if it heats up. But Sven de Vries just starting to pull away with things on lap 7 a little bit. But this Bricalo, Brugman and Vasal train is really kicking off now. Roy is starting to pull away from Ilde. In fact, Brugman here is going to have a go at things here. And yep, he's going for it. Is Brugman down the inside of Remus again. He's got the inside. Such an advantageous line to have in that corner. And he gets through. But Ilse Bricalo's going to have a look perhaps into Roush, which is turn 3.
Yeah, Brugman's got the move done already. He's really siphoning his way back through the order after that mistake earlier on. Bricalo hasn't given it up though. To go down to turn 3. And Brugman's so late on the brakes though. He just covers it all off without having to really defend into the corner. Now Vasal has got Brugman to worry about, that he's certainly coming thick and he's coming fast. He's already got up to the rear wing just about, and already gapping Bricalo a little bit as well. So Brugman is definitely the man on the move at the moment. He's got everything that he wants. He just needs to keep pushing on, and de Vries hasn't got away too far. He's still only 1.6 seconds ahead, so it's not all de Vries this race just yet either.
Yeah, he's got to really be careful here and make sure he doesn't trip up while chasing Roy Vasal. He has been prone to mistakes, I think, in the Formula 3 Championship. He's had a couple, but, you know, on the whole, a very good driver, Sven de Vries. And, well, I'm talking about Sven de Vries, where, yep, he doesn't want to lose this lead. And his teammate, Lars Brugman, behind, is pretty much one of arguably the best drivers in the BMW series you can get. So a super strong lineup from Wilders Automotive this season. But Roy Vasal has really been a star. He's come in to these BMWs, driving for Haynes Motorsport as a standby now as a fully fledged race driver. And he's really, by winning the first race, set the benchmark. And as long as he stays in these high positions, definitely championship material. Lars Brugman looks at Remus but can't get it done.
No, he can't. Niels Boss just had a mistake coming out the final corner and lost a few positions. He's back down to 12th place now, but back up near the front, and Brugman is definitely applying the pressure down towards turn 3. He's already looking up the inside of Vasal. He's going to keep his nose in there. Vasal's actually giving him plenty of room, and then some as well. And well, that's already done and dusted. I wasn't expecting it to be quite that simple, but Brugman's got the place. Has to go a little defensive into 4 just to make sure that there's no retaliation and no fight back. And he's got the position now, so that means that both the World Automotive drivers are in the top 2 positions, and we'll see if Brugman can try and close this gap. It's only 1.2 seconds now, so even during the overtake, the gap has come down between Sven and the guy behind him.
Yeah, good overtake from Brugman through Roush there, and he's held it since. Vasal, though, is going to have the upper hand coming into the first couple of corners because they are hot spots for overtaking 1, 2 and 3. Really, those are the spots where you want to try and get an overtake done, because after that it starts to tighten up. But yeah, Sven de Vries is not really putting away. I think we've actually lost a 10th on that last lap to Lars Brugman, but I doubt with them being in wildest cars they're going to battle too much. Lars might not fight Sven too hard here, might focus on not letting Roy get through. I think he's fighting a more defensive race than an offensive race here, to be honest with you. But Bricalo behind is going to be more concerned with getting onto the podium on lap 9 of this race. Looking further behind, so there's not really any battles going on, although it could get close between Van der Muller and Tida, but they seem quite close on pace at the moment. But this train is called right back up at the moment, because Sven de Vries now is leading Lars Brugman by just about a second, 0.944 of a second. And I'm telling you this, if Lars doesn't hold Roy and LG up, that podium for Lars could be under threat.
It certainly could be. It's definitely feeling like a 4-horse race now as we go into the closing stages of this first race, and there's not much to call between the top 4 at all. In between each of the drivers, it's looking fairly even in terms of the gap, and definitely De Vries is looking more in his mirrors than he is out in front, and well, let's see what's going to happen. I think it's going to take maybe a lap or 2, but any kind of mistake from any of these guys, and it's going to cost them dearly right now. It's that close between the 4 of them. This is really exciting stuff, as all further back Argo has gone off at the penultimate corner. That's allowed Patrick Wannemuller to have a look up the inside of the final corner, but no room to really get past there, and he just slots back into 6th.
Yeah, could be an interesting one here to see how this goes, and well, Lars Brugman, I think, wasn't the driver in the previous race. That was Bart de Vos. So Lars does not really have any championship standing, you'd think. And then you've got the likes of Roy Vizal behind, who really want to get championship standing. So Roy's real prerogative here is going to get past Lars, then get past Sven. That's what he's going to be thinking. But is it really that easy? Is it going to be easy for the Dutchman? That's the question that requires an answer in this instance. But I don't know whether he's going to do it, because Lars is doing a good job. As Oscar has retired from the race, and he joins Can Yildiz in the retirement box, so to speak. But with just 2 laps to go, we're on lap 10. Sven de Vries, Lars Brugman, Roy Vizal have caught up, but there's no position change going on at the moment.
No, it's definitely condensed now. There's only about a second separating the top 4. It's come down that much, the gap between all 4 of them. And, well, it's going to be a case of who decides to make a move first. You have to feel that maybe Brugman's going to have a go at De Vries. They'd like to keep this 1-2. I'm sure they would, the 2 Walters drivers, but of course Brugman will want to reclaim that first place that he had for all but about a corner before he lost it in the final corner. Many laps ago now. Again, it's getting closer, and De Vries is looking a bit rough and a bit loose coming out the final corner. Brugman actually goes wide as well, but he's actually got a good run, and he's right to the back of De Vries now. Is he going to have a look into turn 1? De Vries has gone slightly defensive just to make sure nothing happens there. Brugman just slots back in, and Vasal's also right there in his bumper. Between these top 3, it's extremely close.
Yeah, well, the question is Lars being held up by his own teammate here? Brugman down the outside, he's not got the preferential line to Remus here, and he breaks a bit early, I think, actually, if only slightly, and De Vries holds him here. There's a result, a barrel down the inside of the Dutchman now, and he's put himself exactly where he wanted. Yes, Sven and Lars are there, but the question is Lars being held up? Is his second place under jeopardy now? That's the question, because Roy Vizal is there, he's on the inside of Rauch. This is prime Vizal territory, and he's got it. Niels Voss has retired from the race, but Vizal up to second.
Yeah, he's moved up to second. He was opportunistic there. He just held his line while the 2 Walters were battling between them in front. Oh, but Vizal.
Oh, he holds it.
Go through turn 4. Isn't he so loose? And Brugman has certainly got him a bit flustered there. Look at that. I think this is really helping De Vries out now, because it's just allowing him to increase the gap a little bit, because Brugman's going to have to try and battle with Vizal once again, looking up the inside of the ultimate caller, but again, nothing there for him to try and really have a go, and it's all about going into turn 1. He needs to keep the momentum up, but he's really running out of corners and running out of time.
Yeah, final lap of the race. This is it now. And, yeah, Sven de Vries is coming up to Matthijs Wortman as well, who's traffic. So this might not help if it comes in a not preferential time. In fact, it's going to be on the run down to Remus. So that's right. He gets out of the way quickly, which he has done. Well, it's not as much of a problem as it could have been. But right, Vizal, he's going to have to try something special in Remus, I think, because the speed differential is not enough. He might have to go for the dive bomb. And I know he's sensible enough to not want to do that and risk it. But is it going to be up into the inside of Roush again? Is he going to have the line to do the move that he just did on Lars Brugman, on his own teammate Sven de Vries? But Lars Brugman is there. He's got the draft too. This could be a very interesting territory as they all come into it now. And it's going to be Vizal on the outside. Brugman, he moves to the inside, moves on the brake, and again it's done. And Roy Vizal's taken the lead.
He's actually done it. Can you believe it? I thought De Vries would close the door, but he hasn't. That's a lot of Brugman through as well, and surely now Vizal just needs to hold on for a couple more corners to keep this win. Brugman is all over the back of him and just runs a bit wide coming out to 4. He's got to try and keep the momentum up, otherwise this is all over. There's only really one possible overtaking manoeuvre into turn 6, but even that's a difficult one. So can Vassal hold on just for a bit longer? He's going over the bridge now. This is where it's all going to happen.
Here we go then, final 2 corners. If Lars Brugman's going to make it happen, it has to be now. He's got no choice. Don't win. Then Red Bull Mobile, one more chance. I don't think he's going to get it. I don't think he's got the drive. Or has he got the drive? He's going to go down the outside. Is he going to get it? It's going to be close, but I think it's going to get it. I think he is going to get it. Is he going to be? Oh my word, it's Roy Vassal who wins a classic here at the Red Bull Ring by 3 thousandths of a second. You cannot get much closer than that. That is what the racing is all about. Lars Brugman will be gutted he doesn't come on first, but what a run he gave Roy Vassal to get it. Sven de Vries in 3rd place to get it, and well, it's a well-deserved podium. Inter Ricardo will come up in 4th place, Patrick Vandermeer 5th, Argo Tina 6th, bonus player Ulrich 7th, Simon Watman 8th, Chris Kinsman 9th, Peter van Boudenberg 10th, Lucas Lewis 11th, Mark Wicks is going to come in 12th place, 13th for Wesley Stefano, 14th for Brent Metcalf, 15th for Paulo Rodriguez, and 16th for Matthias Watman. Your retirements being Niels Ross, Adam Oscar, and Can Yildiz. But that finish though, Sam!
It was so close. Coming out the last corner, I thought surely Brugman wouldn't have a chance of getting it, but of course the final line for the finish line is the last one just after the grid, so it was still a long run, and Brugman came so close to get it. He must have been willing the car on there. If I don't know, if he maybe carried 1 more mile an hour coming out the final corner, then maybe he might have just got it. It was that unbelievable, and I can't believe that move either by Roy Vassal, going into turn 3, just stuck it up the inside of de Vries at the last second. He looked like he was going to take the outside, switched to the inside under braking, just stuck it in there, and de Vries went pretty wide to avoid it all, but that was still so incredible. He got the position and then he held on to it as well and took the win. I thought he was out of it with about 2 laps to go as well. I thought it was going to be down to the Walters guys, but he just made his moves where he needed to on the penultimate lap and the final lap as well. And that is why Roy Vassal and Hinz Motorsport should be really pleased with this result here. That was a well-earned victory in a really tactically won race, and well, it could have been any one of the top 4, and in the end it was truly an incredible sight. And if race 2 is going to be anything like that, then I don't quite know how we're going to cope, because that was incredible stuff.
That may be the closest race finish I have ever called. I'm saying that right now. That may just be it. 3 thousandths of a second. You do not get that much closer. You would have to script it to be closer than that.
It's literally like I don't know. It's like IndyCar finishes or NASCAR finishes, isn't it? It's that close. It's really incredible. And if the line was maybe 10 meters down the road, it could have been a completely different story. It was that gripping to see. And I'm sure the drivers are both guessing as they came across the line and just waiting for the timing to update. It was unbelievable stuff. But it's my first BMW WCS commentary appearance, and well, that's the best one to start off on. I don't know how we could possibly top that one now, Josh.
Well, 20 minutes of racing comes down to 3 thousandths. I dare to think what race 2 is going to be like. I can't believe it was that close. Like, that is the closest thing I've ever seen, and I've been doing this for a couple of years now, so I would have had the chance to see roughly close finishes. It's proof of the quality of the field here in WCS, that they can stick with each other for that long and finish that closely.
And the battling as well. It was pretty clean for the front runners. You really saw very little banging. Of course, you get a little bit going side by side into these corners, but that's to be expected. This is touring cars, but there was certainly no pushing of drivers out of the way or anything like that, spins or of stuff to get past. It was really clean stuff, and each of the drivers respected each other's space fairly, and sometimes even more fairly than they needed to. And that's what I was really pleased to see as well, that it wasn't just a bloodbath of carnage just to get to that top spot. It was fairly fought, fairly won.
Yes, and this is going to be a brilliant race too, if that was anything to go by. And we have the top 10 reversed for that as well. So whoever finished 10th in that last race is going to find themselves on pole for this one. So that means that we have a shaken up great, and the likes of Rizal and Losberg, we're going to start 10th and 9th.
Yeah, they're gonna have to do quite a lot of carving to get through these spots once again. It's going to be really interesting to see what it's like when they get stuck in traffic. Of course, we saw with Brugman, he had to pass about 5 or 6 cars to get up to be able to challenge for the win once again at the end of the race there. So we know that he's capable of doing it, especially against some tough customers as well. But Vassal, De Vries and Bricala as well, it's going to be really interesting to see whether they can do it or whether they're going to maybe struggle just a little bit more to be quite so ruthless.
Yep, indeed, and you are now joined by Quiet around this end. I've just seen that I'm way too loud by going back on the stream, so I have turned myself considerably down, in fact still am, and yeah, this is going to be a slightly quieter race too for me, because I've turned my microphone down, but yeah, going to be interesting to see how this goes.
Yeah, well, what's a touring car race with a quiet Josh Anderson? I don't know, it must be a pretty boring one. I can't imagine anything like that, so more of the same for the second race, please. That's definitely what I want to see, as we've got about 2 minutes of warm-up left now, and just a couple of guys going out on track. Surprisingly, not that many out there. I thought there was going to be a few more guys just pounding around, but maybe everyone's quite happy, and maybe they're all a bit exhausted after such a tense first race.
Yeah, well, race 2, if that was anything to go by, it should be even closer. I will be disappointed if it's not within about 100 of it due to that, if that was anything to go by. But you know, I guess these sort of things that come along very, very rarely, and you don't usually get close finishes like that. So it's in order to call them when it is, and yeah, going to be great to see race 2 though. And just a couple of minutes before that gets started.
Yeah, absolutely. And just watching Patrick Vandermuller, he constantly seems to be coming out the pits and practicing his start. So maybe he's feeling a bit. I guess, yeah, definitely worried about his starts. It looks like he must have had a poor one in the first race, and just practicing it now, to try and get it all sorted out. And well, we'll have to watch his start now, because after all this practice, you'd expect him to make an absolutely lightning one in race 2. So he keeps pulling away, going to the end of the pits, and then dropping back and doing another start. He's actually decided to stay out a little bit longer. No, he's going back to the pits again, so he wants to do another, and he's got just about enough time as well.
Yep, and he should have enough time to get one of those done. A couple of drivers doing practice starts, I think, and just generally getting used to the track conditions for race 2. Of course, it is 29 degrees track and ambient temperatures here, so going to be interesting to see how the drivers, well, if it wasn't much different before, then going to see how this goes. And apparently Roy Brazil says race started in 6 minutes, actually. So we're going to be waiting a little bit longer.
All right, okay. I guess we'll have perhaps a second warm-up session. It's only set to 5 minutes, so maybe it was meant to be set to a 10-minute session. So, yep, that makes sense. It just gives the guys a little bit more time, and a few of them just popping back into the server as well to just get back into position and get back out there. And yeah, as you just mentioned, Josh, it looks like we are going to have a bit more time, because what has been reset, and we'll do another 5 minutes here.
Yep, another 5 minutes just to get the drivers another chance to keep going with this warm-up session. And of course, well, adapt to the slightly calm down after that race, well, especially Roy Brazil, who's going to be at the top of it. It's like, ah! But no, he's going to be fine after racing, because he'll have time to calm down.
Yeah, it's. I always find that after having a decent race, when you go to another race straight after, sometimes you got tempted to just think, oh well, all the pressure's off now, because I've done what I wanted to do in the first race, and sometimes it's easy just to switch off a little bit too much. But of course, he'll be high on confidence as well, and I'm sure that'll help him come from 10th on the grid. Also, it's not the hugest of grids, but we don't have too many cars retiring. It's quite difficult to completely destroy one of these cars, especially with the way they're kind of set up and the way they're built. It's not like throwing it off is going to destroy the car completely. So we saw a couple of instances in that first race, but it's still relatively clean, and the first lap was also pretty clean as well, considering the tight corners that we had going into 1, 2 and 3. I felt like maybe there would be more dive bombs and cars being spun out into those corners, but it wasn't too bad, and I think the drivers were relatively pleased with it as well. I didn't see too much beef going on after the race.
Yeah, and yeah, no, it seems like everyone seems to have got on well after the race. You know, not much problems going on. It's good to see that. Good to see people getting on after the race. It's always nice to see people who have had a good race say, "Hey, well done, good racing," and all that. You know, it's what we like to see here at WCS. So good that that's happened. Apparently, go to Svenderbys. We are only going to have 5 minutes warm up for the next race, though. So that will be 5 minutes and then go.
Right, that's good. Because there's nothing worse than sitting around anticipating the next race after a race like that. I can't wait to go racing once again. I can't wait to see what happened after that incredible battle. And yeah, like you said, Josh, after that first race, you could tell the drivers really liked it as well, because there was certainly a lot of excited comments in the chat, and it was an incredible one for not only the drivers that battling in it, but I think also those that saw the results as well. I think everyone was quite appreciative of just how crazy it was.
It was absolutely mental, and I mean, as I say, race 2 had better be living up to that now, otherwise it's going to be disappointment.
Yeah, we've bigged it up, haven't we? We've really bigged it up, so I hope we don't disappoint anyone now.
Yeah, it should be good to see, and well, now it should be. I'm sure it's going to be a good race, you know, because you know, if that was anything to go by, this track is going to produce some really good. I mean, we saw some great overtakes. The Castrol Edge, Roush, Remus. You know, pretty much every single corner was a potential overtaking opportunity, and that's what makes this track so great.
Yeah, even in kind of F1 style cars, it's still got plenty of overtaking opportunities, and they are only amplified really with touring cars. It's always a bit more, well, much more easier, I'd say, to be able to line up for an overtake in touring cars. Whether you can actually execute it, it still comes down to driver skill, that's for sure. But yeah, we saw passing just about everywhere, and I think that was also because there was just a few mistakes, and I noticed how easy it was to run a little bit wide or just get a bit loose coming out of a corner, and it really cost your momentum when doing that. And that's why we saw a few guys getting passed in unusual positions, because they messed up the corner before, and more often than not it cost them more than just one position. It was often someone else coming through taking advantage at the same time.
Oh yeah, sorry about that. I got a little bit distracted there, but yeah, absolutely. And you know, this is the problem about long warm-ups. You run out of stuff to talk about. I just want to go racing.
I do. What can you talk about? Oh, it looks nice and sunny here today. There's lots of cars pounding around, but we want to see them pounding around with purpose and really going for it. And that's what we're about to see very soon indeed. And luckily as well, with such a short track, it means that the actual formation lap isn't too long either, so we can quickly get through to the start lights, which is really where all anticipation begins to build, as they're actually just arranging where everyone will be starting now, so it's going to happen very, very soon.
Yep, and we are actually going to get going. We got 12 seconds to go until, well, the countdown ends, but then Svenderbys, I'm sure, is going to move it over to the next session, which will be race 2, and we will be getting going for that, and we'll be going to the grid for that as well at the start of the session. So I think we are going to get a pretty swift goal on here. In fact, we are. And right, it's so swift indeed that not only a half a second after said that, we actually do go to the race. So, going to be very interesting to see how this is going to end up and who is going to benefit the most from this top 10 reverse grid for race 2.
Yep, they're all going to the grid, so wow, this is going to be really exciting. It's going to be a quick formation lap again, and I just hope everyone's going to get there. We've got 9 seconds to go, still 4 drivers not got onto the grid yet. I'm sure they're all going to appear. Yeah, they have. That's a relief. I don't like seeing any empty spaces. Everyone's going to be taking the start of this race that took the start in race 1 as well.
Yep, here we go then. So, Peter van Routenberg is going to lead us off as the reverse grid pole inheritor for race 2 here in P1. Then it's Chris Kinsman in the CM Tech car in P2. Then Simon Watman, he did a great job the last time he got a high reverse grid result. So watch him in P3. Then it's Bonus Pajaric in P4. Argo Tida P5. Patrick Venemola will start 6-4. Yep, he's going to start P6. Ilja Piccolo going to be starting P7. Sven de Vries 8th. Lars Brugman 9th. And Roy Bazile is going to be 10th.
Yeah, so Lucas Lerteris will be starting in P11 for Thunder Racing with Mark Wicks alongside him for Street Fighter. Then in P13 we've got Wesley Stefano and Brett Metcalf for Deltec Racing. Onto row 8, Paulo Rodriguez, who I noticed had a slight spin at the start of the last race, will be lining up alongside Matthias Wattman with Niels Voss in 17th, Adam Oscar in 18th, and Can Yildiz in 19th, who was one of the 3 retirees that we had in the last race for Thunder Racing. And I think Josh is anticipating this race so much, he's got in full concentration mode, and can't even hear him right now, so I don't know where you've gone, Josh. I don't know if you've dropped.
What I've done is muted my microphone. Right. What I was saying is that Watman should be one to look out for in P3, but who's your pick for the win?
It's going to be a hard one, this, isn't it? I feel like Patrick Wannemuller, I think he looked a bit racy towards the end of the race there, and he's positioned slightly higher up the grid. I think if he could get a good start this time after practicing it so much in the warm-up, I think he could go on and win the race here.
He could do, yes indeed. It would be a dream that I could see Simon Watman after he did so well at Dunton Park, but put my realistic head on, I think my more likely candidate is probably going to I'm going to say Patrick Vandermoller. I think he's probably one of the strongest drivers, and to start 6th is alright, but I would keep a serious eye out for Bonus Pajaric as well, because, well, 4th for Borna, considering the talent that he has, is very good. So Niels Voss and the rest of the cars line up at the back of the field, and we're going to get going here at the Red Bull Ring once again as we wait for the lights to illuminate. So we have 1 set, 2 sets, 3 sets, and we are racing. And it's a great start from Kinsman. Dotson's goes from Van Routenberg, who moves over, tries to squeeze him, but Kinsman's having none of it. He's still there. Tina Sviaric, but Watman behind her, and Watman seems to have been swamped by everybody at the start. Unfortunately, this was out. We got someone round. That is one of the CM Tech cars. We got problems in the back with Matthias Watman as well. It was Kinsman who went round at the start there. Not getting him, and Watman seems to have been spun as well. Not in the quad start. He won it, but from Vandenberg still leads from Tina, from Balamono and Watman. Simon Watman, though, having a go at Balamono, but decides not to fight it too hard. Well thought out. Bonnie Spirit tries to chicken around the outside, but goes well by. Sven de Vries is going to get and possibly go for Simon as well. And these 3 now in a 3-way battle for P4. But Vandermoller is chasing down Tina for P2 as well as we go into the 3rd turn here. And it is still Van Routenberg leading by 4/10 as these 3 battle out into the next couple of corners, Sam.
Yeah, it's been a good start for pretty much everyone, apart from Chris Kinsman, of course, who got spun out there. Coming out to turn 1, and he's got a lot of ground to make up. He's all the way back down in 12th, but Wildenberg leads at the moment. Stair is in 2nd, Wannemuller in 3rd, and he's had a good start also. Simon Watman's moved back a little bit, and Boris Valaric's also lost a position. He's actually under fire from Sven de Vries right now, going towards the end of lap 1. He's having to look at his mirrors. De Vries is poking his nose out a little bit, but there's nothing quite on. Oh, Vandermuller's gone wide, and he's dropping down the order right now. and he goes all the way back to 9th. It's kind of got crazy with the time, so I think someone else has got off as well.
Yeah, Vanderbilt are down at the 10th now behind Luritis there, and I can tell you what happened. It was Chris Kinsman, and speaking of bonus for Yorick, it was Kinsman. And Van Routenberg's got round for the lead! Yes, Peter Van Routenberg is he's gone off as well! And it was him who had contact with Vanderbilt actually seemed to lag into him! Oh, he lagged into Vanderbilt. Oh no, Routenberg went back and hit Vanderbilt, and that's how he went off! And he's lost the lead because of that, and Argentina has inherited it! And Simon Watman now, well, he's gone down to the dead from Spajaric, who's gone through, and it was him who had contact with Chris Kinsman on the first lap there. It seemed to be, I don't know, that was too close to call between the two of them, to be honest. But yeah, I saw how Matthias Watman went round. Yildiz seemed to squeeze Voss, who then went into Watman. So possibly a bit more care required from the Thunder Motorsport driver, but I'm not the stewards. I'm not going to decide that. But what I do know is today was leading.
Oh, it's a bit crazy for second, isn't it? Spajaric nearly lost it coming out of turn 3. And that's giving Sven de Vries a run past Simon Watman. He's now looking for second as well. He's all over the back of Spajaric. And he's still poking his nose up the inside, but not quite close enough, and has to slot back into third. And Lars Brugman also making a big move behind him as well, trying to get past Simon Watman. They both for a wide onto the gravel, and Brugman gets back under the still side by side into turn 6. And Brugman's trying to hold it around the outside, but not quite close enough, and has to back up, going back into 5th into turn 7 and across the line. But I'm sure he's going to be lining up Watman once again. He's going to be hungry after being pushed off track.
These two giving it a real gun for each other, and that's not to get right Bizarre, who's behind as well. Brugman's on the inside of turn 1. Castro Edge, he gets through. Watman can't do anything about that one, and now he's got Bizarre chasing as well. I don't imagine Simon is going to be too difficult on the overtake the other. He has every right to defend his position. Is he going to go to the outside of Remus? Perhaps he is going to go to the outside of Remus. It's his only serious chance, and Roy Bizarre knows that he's got a chance here, but he can't make it happen. He's not close enough, but he is going to get past Watman, so at least there's one car overtaking Simon. Watman drops to 6th. And whilst De Vries has gone through what's Spajaric there as well, in the meantime, these two are all battling out there. Spajaric, I think, has just actually lagged backwards into 6th place because he's been overtaken by Ricardo.
Yeah, what's going on here? There seems to be a few issues for a couple of these drivers. Just suddenly popped backwards, and luckily no repeat where before there was a huge crash after it. But that means that...
And Ricardo's gone!
Away. Oh, what's going on here?
Ricardo's disconnected, he's gone!
Oh, and so's Wandermuller, I think. I think he's disappeared as well. Or has he?
I'm looking for Vandermuller. Vandermuller is still going. He's in 13th place, but we appear to have had a disconnecting Ricardo there. And I'm looking to see... No, he's back. He's in 11th, but he has dropped well back. And Ilja is not having a good race by that looks of it.
Yeah, what happened?
We got Thunder Motorsports Luritis round! Luritis in there. I think that was Spajaric about to do, and yeah, let's see. Here, and Stefano crashes as well. I'll just see what happened here. Spajaric and Luritis. I think Luritis went too quickly, and then there was contact again between Spajaric. Spajaric went into Luritis there on the exit, the entrance of Red Bull Mobile. And yeah, Wesley Stefano's had a crash as well. He now finds himself in 15th place for Hinds Motorsport. Lots of things going on in that short while there, and we've got a bit of a shaker of field, although Argentina still leads from De Vries, from Brugman, from Brazil, Watman, Spajaric.
Yeah, unfortunately for Wandermuller, he was actually victim of the lag again. It was Spajaric who basically reappeared behind him and spun him out. So that's twice now that Wandermuller has been taken out by a car. Magically disappearing and reappearing. So a few connection issues here, whether it's to do with the server or not, I don't know, but Wandermuller definitely seems to be the one who's been the unluckiest out of all these drivers here, but he's still going, as is everyone in the field, and Argo today leading for about 3 seconds.
Yeah, Kinsman and Wandermuller are going on for P10 and P11. They are pretty close, it should be said. Although Van Boutenberg and Spajaric are closer, this is in P6. Van Boutenberg, after his incident before where he went backwards, is now trying to regain position. He tried on Spajaric. I think he should try to put the pressure on Van Boutenberg, the Dutchman, and he's going for Spajaric here, but Borner is not letting up, and P6 is his for the moment, although Simon Watman ahead would rather they battle because it gives him a chance to get away. Meanwhile, It's a wild as well. De Vries gets wonky on the exit of Castrol. And now it's going to be Lars Brugman who goes through on the American. And it's P2 for Lars, so a swap of position for the wildest drivers.
Yep, change of position there, and Kinsman and Wallermuller, I think they've changed position also. So, look at that, De Vries is trying to come back at Brugman going into turn 2, and they're actually going to nearly be side by side coming out the corner. De Vries is trying to have a go, and while he's right behind Brugman now as they go down towards turn 3, he could just dive bomb him, but of course it's his teammate, so he won't want to do that, will he? He just holds station and doesn't try and make a move, and just stays in the position that he was before. And it looks like the battle separated out a bit between Smolarek and Wildenberg, as well as they're no longer quite battling as closely as they were before. So it definitely looks like this wildest battle is the closest battle in the top 10 at the moment.
Yeah, well, Lucas Lourdes and Nigel Bricalo are closing up at P8. Let's not forget those two. These are Thunder Motorsport and YTF1 drivers respectively, and Lourdes newcomer to the league, and may have already had an incident with one of the YTF1 cars, but is going to be sent to try and defend well from another YTF1 car, this time Bricalo. I don't know if it was Bricalo he had the incident with before, but Ilter's going to want to be through either way, and yeah, he's going to look for as many opportunities as he can afford, but they aren't coming to him yet. But Lourdes is just giving him one by going off on the main straight, and he's going to have to be careful how he rejoins here, because this is a precarious scenario. I think he's going to wait for all of the cars to pass before he does so. In fact, yeah, he's waiting for Rodriguez. I think he's waiting for the entire field, strangely enough, but this is going to allow him to get back on the track safely, and he will rejoin further. In fact, he's out. He's gone. He's retired from the race, and that is unfortunate. Perhaps there was damage on that car, but either way, it's going to put Smolarek, so it's going to put Bricalo into 8th place there, and able to chase down Van Ranberg.
Yeah, big contact between the two. Is now De Vries is looking up the inside of Brugman. It's turn 3. He's tried to get the position back that he lost just a lap ago, and well, they're side by side now towards 4, and Brugman's going to have the favoured line going into here. And wow, they're still staying side by side. They'll be respectful of each other, these teammates, of course. And De Vries is unable to get the move done, and he goes back into 3rd, so they'll continue chasing down to there, which they are actually doing it. The gap is dropping all the time. Even though these two are battling, they still seem to be catching up, so that's very interesting to see also, as the gap comes down to 1.5 seconds now.
Yeah, and it is getting closer, this battle, isn't it, between the two of them. Brugman and Lars is catching in on the Estonian, but it does not seem to be at a rate of enough catching at the moment, because, well, lap 7 and he's still ahead, so I mean, by this logic he has to get about 2/10 a lap, so it doesn't seem like he's got much to do, but he's not yet, and he could make a mistake is the crucial thing.
He could do, and that's really what they're looking at. Oh, and Wallenberg's disappeared once again.
Oh, but he's back though. He's back, and he's on the inside of Smolarek. These two, I think, were the ones with connection issues, both flagging out over thingy. So this might go catastrophically wrong if someone's internet fails, but it seems to be stable so far. Van Randenberg, he's going to be on the inside of turn 3, and Roush is a decent corner to go forward overtake if you're feeling lucky. But Bonus Smolarek has got the outside covered, but he's going to try and force Van Randenberg to the inside, which can be preferential. Has he just given the place up effectively by doing that? Van Randenberg's on the inside. No, Bona knows better, and a better exit holds in the place for now. It gives him the inside in the next 2, which are left-handers. Very smart thinking.
Yeah, really close between the two. Smolarek just about squeezes Wallenberg out there and holds on to position. It's really scary if one of these two do decide to disappear or not. The gap between the leads has come down to 0.6 of a second. That's closing all the time, and I have a feeling that we'll be going back to that battle soon enough. So just seeing if Wallenberg can actually have a go in the final couple of corners, but he's just too far back and not able to make a move.
Well, De Vries has crashed. Apparently, De Vries has had an incident, and that has cost him track position there. What's happened is he's gone round at the, yes, he's gone inside and whacked the barrier at the final turn. He's gone round a Red Bull Mobile. Doesn't look to be any damage on that BMW, so that's good, but he's fallen into the clutches of Roy Verzile here. And, we got a train behind. We got Lars Brugman for the, he's going on Remus, and, I almost didn't say that one, but he has got it done. As Brugman, he went down the inside. Well, it was the outside, actually. He just held it well enough. Argentina down in the second, but Lars Brugman leads.
Yeah, he got a good run there and had the move pretty much done by the breaker zone and just finished it off by braking perfectly into turn 2. So that means that now Brugman has taken the lead, and you'll see if he can pull away. De Vries has got a lot of work to do to try and catch up after that mistake also. So he's got a good 3 seconds to catch up with Tadej to try and get that second position also, as Vasal is on his tail also. Just looking further back, Wattman, Spolaric and Vardenberg are all battling for 5th, 6th and 7th. They're pretty close together, and it looks like Wattman is definitely coming under more and more pressure from the 2 guys behind him.
Yeah, but remember, this is the sort of thing that I like to call the Vandermeer scenario. These two are fighting. This could give Simon a chance to get away, although Van Randberg appears to be overheating his engine a bit there. Spajaric goes wide. He's going to have to rejoin carefully, and does, but now he goes wide again. Are those tyres starting to overheat, perhaps, with the defending he's doing? This is going to help Wattman, because he isn't going to be pushing as hard, because now he knows he's not attacking, he's not defending as much with Spajaric and Van Randberg anymore, but they're still defending from each other, and he's going to get the chance to go where these two battle each other, and Spajaric is all over the shop now.
Yeah, he's going everywhere, isn't he? He just needs to calm down and maybe just do a lap a little bit more carefully. But of course, it's easy to say that, but not when you've got Van Wildenberg all over the back of you. He's looking now to the inside of Spolaric going into turn 2.
Oh dear! Oh!
He really pushed Spolaric off there, didn't he? Didn't give him room.
I feel he pushed him off just a little bit there, like, to be honest. I mean, down the inside of the corner, Borna was turning in. He was on the outside anyway. He was turning in expecting to make the outside... out the outside of the corner, and yeah, Van Rautenberg, he gave him a bit of space. Maybe Spajara came back in, but yeah, there was a bit of contact between the two, and yeah, that was a bit of a weird one. But yeah, this whole Lars Brugman Argentina battle seems to have gone off a bit, and then Wattman now though still now look at this. Carlos joined the train. Vasal's dropping down the order though. What's happened there with the Dutchman? He's has he gone off? Yeah, he went off and then went off again, half spun, and had to rejoin behind everyone.
Yeah, it looked like he had an issue with going that slow, but it's just because that half spin there, going through turns 4 and 5, that it cost him all those positions, and now he's got to try and fight with this huge gaggle of cars. Simon Wattman is doing a good job at the moment to hold on to 4th place with guys who look a little bit quicker than him. Right behind Bricalo though is a man on a mission now. He's starting to carve his way through. He's up to 5th place, and he'll be looking at Wattman ahead of him, and these guys are well down the road as well from De Vries. He's just caught up to there now, so he's closed that 3-second gap pretty quickly between himself and Dare, and be sure looking to make a move any second. So further back,
Bazile
looking at the inside of Van Wildenberg, it's 2 and gets it done just about, gets a bit loose, but it covers him off and takes his position.
He's not going away though, as Peter, though. He's going to have a look down the inside of Roush here. His engine's overheating again. He's pushing it very hard, this BMW. You can see by the fact his engine is smoking on the straights when he's drafting. But he is definitely one to watch for this potential place here on that 10. And he is chasing Bazile, although Roy has the upper hand at the moment. But to go back to Simon Wattman, he's doing exactly what he did at Donington Park. He's just running his own race. He's making everyone else do the hard work, and he is benefiting from it.
Yeah, he is. He's got.
Look, here comes Bricalo.
Him now, hasn't he? Right beside him actually, and going into turn 6, he's not in the best line at all. Bricalo might have this, although he's actually fallen back. So good run by Wattman, just to gain enough speed down straight towards turn 6 to hold on to his position. But you just feel it's only a matter of time before someone gets past him, and maybe it's a matter of time as well before De Vries passes today. He's looking. No, thinks better of it into turn 1. I thought he was going to make a move there, but decided against it. Perhaps he's going to try to set up there going into turn 2.
Yeah, I was thinking, Remus, it's a better corner to go for, and Sven Storm Patton might be trying for some. August want to take the outside, I believe, when he can into this corner, which is why Sven's going to look into the inside of Remus, and he's going to break, but it's Argo who gives the upper hand. He turns out the break, and Haggard was better. His plan of sticking to the outside worked, as Roy Bajar is now battling out the same corner with Van Woutenberg, and it is the VR46 driver who goes through. Wesley Stefano disconnects.
Yeah, another driver gone there, so Free driver's gone so far as it's all happening now, isn't it? Let's have a look. It's Valoric. Oh no, it's Van Vandenberg and Vassal go side by side. It's turn 3 once again. Vassal on the outside and just can't quite get past there and has to slot back in.
Yep, and Vassal is going to be chasing Van Bouwenberg, I think, to the end of the race now while defending them. We got this whole train from fourth with Watman in it, and Bricado and the two YTF1s cannot get through. It's Watman who's doing the job of defending it, and he's only going to defend for one more lap. And these final two corners are not fantastic overtaking opportunities if you don't have the line. Although Lars Brugman is about to come across the line, the start-finish line to start the final lap of the race. Meanwhile, Sven de Vries and Argentina behind him battling. And Watman's doing a good job of holding off Bricado and Svejaric on what will be his final lap soon as well.
Yep, this is where it all kicked off. Last race out, didn't it? It's not...
Oh, Van Brandenburg and the... Oh, well, that's not good for Van Brandenburg. He's had a collision there. What's happened there? Oh, he dropped in of his own accord, hit the grass, into the wall. Thank you very much. And he is out of that. And Watman's having a bit of difficulty now against Bricalo. Between these two, Bricalo's got the inside. I don't know whether Simon's going to fight this too hard. He wants the position, of course, but is he going to go for it? And Bricalo down the inside, and he gets it. Elja into P number 4 then, and Watman wide on the exits. Bajaric's going to have a run as well, but Elja gets through.
Yeah,
and De Vries now trying to chase the dare too, but it's not happening. But is it going to happen now? Great exit from Sven.
Here he goes. He's going to the outside of Stair right now. It's turn 4. This is going to be difficult round here. De Vries brakes, but he can't brake late enough, and Stair takes a corner. De Vries looks for the switchback. Can he get into 5? Not quite there, so he's going to have to do something pretty spectacular through the final couple of corners to get this position.
Yeah, you keep an eye on that, Sam. I'm going to keep an eye on Lars Brugman, who's coming around the second last corner now, and he will now round Red Bull Mobile to come around the final turn in this lap and win convincingly in race 2 of the BMW Championship. It is all Lars Brugman today, and he crosses the line to take the win. Argentina and Sven de Vries will be the Estonian by the looks of it to get second, and Sven de Vries is going to have to start for third again. But here comes Bricalo, Watman, Spajaric in that order across 4th, 5th and 6th. But not Watman's 5th though. That is still pretty respectable. He came under a lot of pressure at the end of the race. White Rizal will finish 7th. Chris Kinsman should come home in P8. Then Van Brandenburg 9th. And Patrick Vandemolla will likely come home in P10 and get reverse grid pole for race 3 by that logic.
Yep, here he comes. He's suffered a few blows this race for no fault of his own, but at least he's going to get 10th place. He'll have a chance to try and recover something.
Oh, whoa!
Race.
Almost goes over the line backwards there.
Yeah, pretty happy, wasn't he, to finish 10th there? I guess he knows exactly what's coming up in race 3.
He does, yes, and just to run out the rest of the finishes, it's Anna Oscar 11th, Paulo Rodriguez 12th, Mark Wicks 13th, Brett Metcalf 14th. Yeah, Can Yildiz will finish the race by the looks of it in 15th place. And then Matthias Wottman already finished in 16th. Retirements in this race, Wesley Stefano, Niels Voss and Lucas Liridis.
Yep.
Well,
yeah.
It wasn't quite the close race that we were anticipating in the end terms, but still a very good race overall.
Yeah, great battling for some of the higher positions from about 2nd to 7th, I guess 8th as well. But once Lars Brugman got the lead, there was never really any looking back, was there? Those final 5 laps of his were pretty intense in terms of his lap time and the way he just pulled away from the field to end up 7 seconds clear of his closest competitor showed how dominant he was in race 2. And this time around certainly made sure he didn't make any mistakes once he took that lead away from Tadej, who did a valiant job of holding on to it, especially through all that craziness early on in the race with cars jumping around on the track and spins and everything going off in that final sector. So nothing to be sniffed at for Tadej. He picked up to 2nd, and by doing so, he really had to fight De Vries very, very hard through those final 3 laps also. So very good defending, very good consistent driving, and he'll be very pleased with that position. I'm sure there wasn't really anything he could do about Brugman after the kind of pace that Brugman had in race 2 right there. And that battling as well between Bricalo Simon Watman, and a few of the others as well, Spolaric and Vassal. That was pretty good stuff, and they all just about managed to keep it clean, keep it on track also. And although it wasn't for the podium or for the win, they still battled just like it mattered, like any other position on track. And it'll be interesting to see what those guys get up to, because they'll be around each other again on the grid once we go to race 3.
Yeah, and in that race, there will be Patrick Vandermuller with pole position, and in the past, in other series elsewhere, he has proved what he can do with pole positions, and he has won from them before, so could be a very interesting prospect.
Yeah, I felt he was really unlucky in that race 1. He got caught up in Van Mardenberg's little, I guess, connection moment early on in the race, and it put him into a spin and dropped it down the order, and he was recovering well. And then Spolaric had a very similar thing, and again, just put Vandermuller into a half spin. He slid down the track between turns 3 and turns 4, and lost a lot of time doing so as well, and probably got a bit of damage from it. I wouldn't be too surprised. So to come home in 10th, I guess it was as good as he could possibly do, and fair play to him for carrying on after 2 unlucky incidents. He probably thought, how could my luck get any worse? And well, luckily it didn't for him in the end, that he actually managed to bring it home. So I think this time around he's going to have a point to prove. He's going to be fearful of anyone touching his rear bumper again like in race 2 there, but I think he's really going to try and go for it, and going to try and hold on to that lead for as long as he possibly can.
Yeah, I'm sure he will. He is going to want to do as well as he can in this race, and I'm sure they'll have a very good chance of it from where, race 3, it feels like it's flown by this evening.
Yeah, it has. It's gone ultra quick, and of course we've only got 5 minutes between this warm-up session and the final race as well, so not too much hanging around. It's going to be a quick turnaround, and I think the adrenaline's still going to be pumping in some of these drivers once we get to the grid as well, so hopefully everyone can keep it clean. So far hasn't been too bad in the first couple of races. Chris Kinsman was very unlucky to get spun around in turn 1, coming out turn 1 in that second race there, and that really kind of ended his challenge for the race, as he ended up all the way at the back going towards turn 2, and it was a lot to ask for him to try and come through after that spin.
It was quite a big ask, but still, it's going to be interesting to see how this does pan out ultimately, and we'll watch race 3 go by, and obviously after that we'll have interviews with the top 3 from each race. And yeah, it'll be interesting to see how those interviews go. They're always interesting to hear from the drivers about how their races have gone.
Yeah, I'm going to be interested to hear about how the drivers felt about the racing. It's looked pretty fair to me, but in the car it can sometimes feel a hell of a lot worse. And it'll be interesting to see if they feel like they've been hard done by, or if they all think it was fair from the cockpit of their cars. And well, maybe we can also find out about what happened to Lars Brugman in race 1 as well, when he had that half spin going into the last corner. I was very surprised to see that from him, and I think if he hadn't have done that, he might have got that race wrapped up there and then, and been able to pull away from the guys behind him.
Yeah, that could quite certainly be the case, and maybe in his mind that's what he'll be wanting to do, and yeah, let's just hope that he can manage to do that. So, going ahead, we know Patrick Vandermuller is going to be on pole position. Have you got any particular picks so far for race 3 win?
It's a very difficult one, isn't it? It's hard to look past the Walters guys after their performance that they put in so far tonight. They've really kind of spin the pace setters, and nearly took the win in race 1. Were battling for it with 2 laps to go, and then of course picked up the victory with Lars Brugman in race 2. So whether anyone else can really challenge them is going to, I guess, depend on how quickly the 2 of them can get through the grid in this third and final race. Again, it'll be 12 laps long, so not much time to carve the way through from 8th and 10th on the grid respectively. But also whether either of them get into trouble, because of course this is touring cars, anything can happen. It's easy to go from 0 to 0 in the matter of one corner, even if it's not your fault. So it's going to be interesting, but it's going to be hard to look past the two Walters guys, and I think maybe De Vries might pick up his win to get his fair share of it tonight.
Yep, and I'm sure that this final race of the season, not the final race of the season, we've got plenty more this season, but this final race of the evening will be definitely going to live up to the other two. We've got Eric Stanford in the chat actually saying he thinks Sandra Lawson Sven will win, closely followed by Roy. Interesting choice from him.
Yeah, so that is definitely interesting. Maybe he's seen something that we haven't seen out there, but
well, it's not a choice without logic, I don't think.
Yeah.
No, I think he's got a very low. I think it's pretty obvious why we choose. I mean, they've been on the pace all 32 races, so why would they not be on 3?
Yeah, I think he's got a good chance. His guess is as good as anyone's, isn't it? Anything could truly happen here. I mean, Van Wildenberg is second. He was up there at the start of that first race until he had those issues with his connection as well. So we'll see if those reoccur. Hopefully, fingers crossed they don't. And if they don't, we'll see what he can actually do when he's near the front also. And of course, Chris Kinsman, he's going to be wanted to recover as well after getting his foot out of turn 1. So he's going to have a point to prove. I think there's a lot of guys here right now that are really going to be going for it in race 3. It's going to make it super exciting, especially the first couple of laps.
Yeah, so here we go then, final race of the evening. It will be Patrick Vannemoller starting things off for Performance Racing there in the 29, and then it'll be Peter van Woudenberg directly behind in P2. Started near the front last race, started near the front this race, then Chris Kinsman, another perennial front runner in the reverse grid in P3, then Roy Bazal P4, Boris Pajaric will start P5, Simon Watman 6th, then Nigel Picaro 7th, and then Sven de Vries 8th, Argo T9, and Lars Brugman in P10.
Yeah, so Adam Osmith a little bit higher up this time. He managed to get to the end of race 2, and he'll be starting in 11th place with Deltec Racing just outside that reverse grid there. Paulo Rodriguez, the BR46, will be starting in 12th with Mark Wicks in 13th, with Brett Metcalf in 14th for the second Deltec car. Then Can Yulis of Under Racing in 15th with Matthias Watman, who I think finished the race. Yeah, he did finish the race last time out in 16th. And then the 9th and final row of the grid today will be Wesley Stefano and Lucas Litteris of Thunder Racing. And we're missing one guy, and I think it's Niels Boss, isn't it? Yes, it's correct. Yeah. Niels Boss hasn't returned.
We're seeing Niels, and he probably won't take the start of this race, unfortunately. So, Sam, looking at the field then, one more time. I have already asked you this, but I'll ask you once more. Who's your pick for the win?
I'm going to go for De Vries this time from 8th. I think it's a bit of a long shot, but I think the Walters' domination means that I think they can do it.
Menno Klont says Roy Verzile. I was going to go for Roy myself, but I guess I'm going to pick someone else now. For Roy from 4th is a very interesting prospect indeed. But yeah, I am going to go... you know what? I'm going to have the ultimate gamble. I'm going to say Simon Watman. If he can stay out of trouble and everyone else has a disaster at the start, then Simon Watman. But otherwise,
that would be magical.
It would be magic. But otherwise, I honestly fancy someone further down the field, like perhaps Roy Verzile, but maybe Patrick Vannemoller as well from Paul. He is good from Paul. As final cars lining up now, Wesley Stefano does. So, here we go then for the final time this evening from the Red Bull Ring. The lights will illuminate and we will have a race on our hands. And we go. Vannemoller seems to have got a decent start. He did wait a while. Kinsman has jumped a lot of them though to get off the start. Great result from him. Versailles had a good start too. Are we going to see him moving to Castrol Edge? Maybe, maybe not. No, Kinsman still on the outside. Versailles still there. Vannemoller drops to 3rd. Van Woudenberg forced by Yarek though. Still there as well. Further down the order we got moves from Watman, Brugman, people going up and down the order, but it's going to be Remus while we see the real moves happening. Spajaric stuck to the outside, can't go anywhere. Van Woudenberg on the inside, he looks to get through. Vanderbilt though, he's in the threat from Spajaric, and we got Bowles in the front. Brazil gets past Kinson, Kinson runs wide, and then we got Vanderbilt past two as well, and it's Remus Valvolino already.
Yeah, it's all been happening here. Passal's into the lead, Vanderbilt into second. Spalaric ran wide in turn 2, but it got a good run, and he's actually looking for third place now. Oh my goodness, he's nearly going to take second as well. Just about clipped the rear end, but held on to it as Kingsford starts to fall back further and further.
Yeah.
As Peter Vanderbilt and Vandenberg, goes past.
Oh dear! Yeah, Kinson just clipping around back there, unfortunately. Bit of contact between the two dogs over the football. Carlo, as he hits Van Rowe, and Kinsman into the wall. Oh, well, I think I might need you to look at that, Sam, and get your own look at that. But Ricardo in the fifth in some circumstances. But Roy Brazil has taken the lead as per Menno Klont's pick, followed by Vanderbilt, followed by Spajaric as we come round and round on the first lap.
Yeah, Kinsman there was just all out of shape going into turn 4, and then came across Ricardo. It looks like coming out the corner, just trying to switch to the inside at the last second, and it spin him off into the wall. So a bit unfortunate there, but well, he's all the way back down in 15th now, so we'll see if he can make it up as Vanderbilt is having to look defensive as Lars Brugman moves up into 5th place already through turn 1 on lap 2. He's just got past Ricardo, and well, he's on a charge once again, and up slightly further ahead as well. Spalaric now looking to the inside of Vanderbilt into turn 2. They're side by side.
Oh, and he gets it.
Run coming out the corner. Vanderbilt has to go wide over the curving and just lose that slight bit of momentum, and that gives the position to Spalaric for the moment. But between the top 3, it's all getting pretty close, and someone I think is going to have a go into turn 3.
Doesn't have a choice, and Vanderbilt does have a run. Now we got Spalaric. Oh my god, Brazil doing it now for P1 here, and Vanderbilt behind just in case he goes over. Vanderbilt comes up with Spalaric, and he goes up the road. Just Patrick and out that Vanderbilt out of nowhere to go into P2. Where did it come from?
Yeah, he's just made moves where he needs to, basically avoiding other people's mistakes. Brugman as well goes up the inside of Vanderbilt. He's going up into 4th place now through turn 4 into turn 5. He gets 4th place, so already Brugman has gained another position at 6th place so far, and only 3 left to go between himself and the lead of the race.
Vanderbilt has dropped right back now into P5. Ricardo's having to go in for his position. Might find himself in P6 if he's unlucky, but really needs to focus now. Patrick needs to knuckle down and start getting position back. It's only B2 laps and already we've had a massive shake-up, but Brazil leads from Van Woudenberg, from Spajaric, Brugman, Vanderbilt, Ricardo today. Watman, De Vries and Lamides make up the top 10 at the moment. And we got Ricardo having to go with Patrick again. Not going to happen. Brugman though and Spajaric could be one into Remus. Adkers Van Woudenberg on Brazil if he gets the line right.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting now. Brugman all over the back of Spalaric, and will he make a move into turn 2? He's done it the last couple of laps. It's been his favoured overtaking spot as Brazil just looks a bit defensive, and one of them goes very deep into turn 2, and that's going to cost him another position. Bricalo goes through and takes that place away.
Oh, here we go. Van Woudenberg's gone into the lead here, and what's happening out there is he's gone through Remus, and then Brazil's gone wide, and he's taking advantage, and now Brazil is under threat from, goes down the inside, dive bombs down the inside. It's by Yorick there. It was a risky manoeuvre after Borna got through. He had to brake late, and he just held it. He barreled down the inside.
Huge crash, De Vries.
And De Vries crashes, and that's a big one. He power rolls it as well. And that is a massive crash for the American. And what has happened there is he's been hit by Watman, who lagged into him.
Yeah, again, that's another driver, and it looks like they just kind of ended up inside each other there. And that's all over for De Vries. He's all the way down in 13th place. And Spalaric drift.
Oh, yeah, Borna off.
Corner goes
and then Borna back on again. Well, off and on again. This is the story of last race, but it's going to give Lars Brugman the perfect chance if he can just stay ahead or stay within draft range here as we're going to Castrol Edge, which is turn 1 on lap 4. And we're going to see exactly who has the upper hand in this scenario. Lars Brugman just holds on again. But here comes Ricardo, who's got a fantastic exit, and he's going to get through, maybe even on his own teammate.
Yeah, Brugman certainly ran out of room there on the inside, didn't have much to contend with. And that cost him momentum, and it cost him position. As now Ricardo looks to the outside of Spalaric. He's going to Tina,
look at this! Oh, those come out of nowhere as well to have a go at Lars, and Vanderbilt is chasing down Right, YTF1 cars on the run into Rebus doing the good old Ludo and hitting a block on them, but it hasn't quite worked because now we got massive fight. Tina's going for Brugman and it's not working out yet, but it works out now when Argo gets through. Now he's chasing down Ilja, and this is all going the way of Bonus by Yorick at the moment because these four bite him behind and he's not going anywhere. And now round goes Tina into a half spin, and this is not going well anymore for anyone involved.
The gloves have come off, haven't they? Everyone's going for it now, and it's no holds barred. And that's because Brooke with quite a few positions there. He's just tried to keep it clean and keep it out of the way from everyone else while they've all been battling away, and he's lost out from positions. But he's got past Wanderman now. He's into sixth. As Vardenberg is leading this race for about a 1.5 second lead. Oh, someone's gone off in the background.
Oh, and here's that.
Valoric.
Is that Bonus Yorick? Oh, it might be. Bonus Yorick is there, yep. He's now running slowly on the front straight. He's P7 now. And there's nobody going around Brugman on. Oh, Brugman on Tina in the turn one. He did that move before in a couple of races back. And he's done it again, Lars Brugman into Cashwell Edge to get P4. And he is holding that nicely to go for to Brigaro. Patrick Vandermoller, though, wants a run on Argotina down into Remus. He's going to have a go here, going to break, and he's got the braking perfect. Might even get both moves done if he's lucky. Oh, yes, he has. Patrick Vandermoller, 2 moves in 1 corner. That's how you overtake.
And yeah, it's all kicking off behind as well. I've just noticed that Watman, Kinsman and Nicolitaris is all battling out right now, and it's getting real close and argy-bargy between the two. Oh, look!
Oh, Vandermoller! He's held that lovely through there, and he's holding off Lars Brugman great too. Argo Tina, do not forget Argo, he's chasing down as well. He's there, he's wanting this position. Boris Vajoric is a bit far behind for the attacking phase of this race, but have we forgotten about Peter van Boutenberg? He might be on his first victory here if he keeps this up.
Yeah, still only a third of the way through the race at the moment, but he's got a good healthy lead at the moment, 2 seconds. And well, it really, I think, depends whether some of the faster guys can try and come through. But the battling is tough. No one's giving an inch anymore, are they? It's all the last race of the day, so everyone wants the best position they can possibly get out here. And Lars Brugman again looking to try and get 4th here. He's got one of them right ahead of him, and he's just going to hold it behind him into turn 1. I think he's going to try and set him up for turn 2 to get the best possible overtaking opportunity.
Yeah, sometimes it is just better to set it up than actually go for the overtake, and I think that is what Lars is thinking here on Patrick. It's going to be a duel between the Dutch and the Germans going into this turn here, braking, and it looks like Patrick's got it. Yep, he has the place. Great job from Vandermoller, who now takes, well, we holds P4. Didn't go anywhere, but Lars Brugman is not done yet. He is close into a potential run into Roush here. And, well, I tell you what else is close? Ricardo and Vazile.
Yeah, it's all getting very close. So Vazile's actually lost a little bit of time here. He's dropped back from Aldenberg, and Ricardo's all over the back of him as well. That's it.
Yeah.
Like,
these two are just duking it out, left, right, and centre. Vazile got over there. We got battles further down the order as well, like today, chasing down Brugman and Vandermoller as we know, but also the likes of Watman and Kinsman who are duking it out, P7 and P8. These two really gunning for each other at the moment, and Ricardo Vazile may be a good battle, but we got other battles like that as well. And well, the Riddis now is looking at Watman and Kinsman. We've got a 3-man chain for 8th here.
Yeah, they're side by side, aren't they? Watman and Lucas.
Oh, here we go. Oh, Lucas looked for it there, but he didn't quite decide to go for it, I don't think. Maybe not confident into that second to last turn to make a move done. Perhaps just wants to set a better overtaking opportunity up. I don't blame him. It's a very simple thing, but here we go. Vandermoller and Brugman again, with Tina behind going in Rebus again. Is this going to be deja vu all over again for the Dutchman as he tries to get past the German? Not this time, because he got the inside.
He's been sneaky there. He's kept his nose up the inside. Vandermoller didn't want him to go there, but he's having to allow Brugman up.
Oh!
Brugman out wide. Vandermoller loses.
Well, he's got back.
No, he keeps it there side by side. Down towards 3. The amount of speed he got coming out of turn 2 there actually allows him to retake the place.
Patrick's not going to move inside this time either, and it's let Lars in for another shot. Just start the stream. I'll just restart it or something. Welcome back to the WCS BMW Championship. Apologies for that breaking proceedings. There's a couple of connection issues on the fault of our, on the behalf of our cameraman, but we are back with the BMWs, and Peter van Woudenberg on lap 9 is still leading this race from Milton Percarlo, who's gotten past Roy Brazil. In the meantime, Lars Brugman is chasing down the Dutchman though for this third place that he currently holds. Patrick Van der Molle currently winning P5, Argo Tita 6, Bonus Piano 7, Chris Kinsman 8, Sven Vries 9, and Lucas is your current top 10. I am still Josh Renderson, although slightly quieter now, hopefully. I've turned my microphone down even more because I'm still live on the stream. And yep, we've still got this brilliant battle for second brewing, Sam.
Yeah, it certainly has been the one that's really taken shape now ever since we lost the pinches a couple of laps ago. And now Lars Brugman is looking up the inside of Roy Brazil. It's like a repeat of race 1, isn't it? This time it's a third place, not for first. And Brugman has got the inside going up towards turn 2, and this is a good opportunity for him. He's broken late and he's got the position. Brazil's going to try and get a better run out of the corner, runs over the curb a little bit. That might cost him a little bit of momentum, but he's still going to keep fighting the position. He's actually alongside Brugman right now. Down towards turn 3, Brugman's got at least leaving room on the outside because they're going to go side by side into the corner. Brazil once again can't quite get to anything on the outside, and Brugman just the better driver on the inside of the corner there and takes a position. Brazil once again fighting back and dives on the inside of turn 4. Out of nowhere, he's not giving up.
He's sticking with it. He's sticking with it, dude. Worth here. He's really determined to get this or keep this position more. He wants the podium and he wants it badly enough that through Berth he has held it. Although, how long will that stand? Lars Brugman's got no choice but to do it up the inside of Rint here. And this is going to be a mental, but we've not seen a move at Rint this race. Brugman has held it brilliantly, and here comes Van der Molle.
Yeah, here comes Van der Molle. He's going to try and have a go at Brazil now as Brugman finally gets past. I think this time around the position is clear and he's going to be able to hold on to it into the next corner as Brazil's fallen too far back to be able to retaliate and stick it up the inside once again. So Brugman into third.
Bent hit the wall, and that's another mistake for the American, but he'd already had a bit of a problem with lagging connections this race, and this is just going to put the dominoes on it even more. Lucas Loretis is his next target or person who's defending from in this race, but Patrick Van der Molle chasing down Roy Brazil, chasing down Lars Brugman for this position at the moment on lap 11 of the race that we have. Race 3, of course, this last chance for any people to get points at the Red Bull Ring before we move on to the next circuit, and well, for Patrick Van der Molle, he knows he's not got many more chances than Roy Brazil.
Yeah, he's going to have a go. Brazil's not actually given up on Brugman, has he? He's still keeping Brugman honest, and I think the two of them are both catching up with Riccardo as well. But with only 1.5 laps remaining, you'd have to say that Van Woudenberg has done everything right so far. Indeed, well, he'd have to do something dramatically wrong right now. We wouldn't want to wish that on him, for him to lose this lead of 3.2 seconds. It's been about that mark for the last couple of laps, so a good effort by Van Woudenberg to get that gap out and then hold on to it also.
Yeah, and Van Woudenberg, well, if you're going to put anyone as favourite for the win, it's him now as he starts the final lap of the race. I said it might be time. It might be Van Woudenberg time, might be VR46 Racing Team time, and it could well be time for him to make his time now as we enter the final lap of the race. And he has got enough time to get to that finish line in first place, and enough of a gap to him as well at the moment. And, well, time for me to stop making time jokes.
Yeah, that's certainly a lot of times that you said that as Van Woudenberg goes into turn 2. The gap's come down a little bit. Riccardo's caught up by about half a second, but there's still a good bit of daylight between the two of them. And I think Van Woudenberg's just being careful now, more than anything, to make sure that he gets his car to the end of the races. Adam Oscar has just retired with a lap to go also, so he won't be able to finish the race as all these guys have chucked it into turn 3, coming out turn 3, and gaps are still sufficient between a lot of them that no one's really going to try and dive bomb. They're way too far back, so we'll have to see if anything happens for these last few corners.
Simon Watman's taken a position from Wesley Stefano after the Lando made a mistake there at the Remus, and he has had a bit of an incident there which has allowed Watman to gain a place. Not been the best of races for Simon Watman, but he's had a good 3 races so far. But speaking of good 3 races, it is going to be an incredible third race for VR46 Racing Team in the number 46 BMW rounding the final corner and saying it might be his time, and it is his time, is very much now. Peter van Woudenberg takes the win here at Austria, gets his first WCS win, and what a way to do it as well. 2 seconds exactly ahead of Ilja Riccardo, then Lars Brugman, then Roy Bazire, Patrick Van der Molle, Argo Tida, and then it'll be bonus for Yorick in P7, followed by Chris Kinsman and it's Sven de Vries in a disappointing 9th after 2/3, and Lucas Luritis will get a top 10 for Thunder Motorsports. So well done to him as well. Simon Workman comes over respectable 11th. That is if Rusty Stefano doesn't pass him, which he won't do. Stefano will have to settle for 12th now. Then it'll be Mark Wicks in 13th, Brett Metcalf in 14th, and Can Yildiz rounding out the finishes with Adam Oscar, Paulo Rodriguez, Matthias Whitman, and your retirements in that race. So yeah, what a way to end the race with a brand new winner.
Yeah, well, for Woudenberg, he took the lead very early on, wasn't it? Lap 3, that he got the lead of the race, and well, after that, I thought it's definitely not his race to win, and it could be anyone behind him that could catch him and overtake him, as often was the case in the past 2 races. That a guy who got the lead early on didn't really go on to win the race, but he proved me wrong, and he just put in good, consistent laps, didn't make any mistakes, didn't go off the track, get kind of loose or lose it or anything, through all the pressure that he still had on his shoulders, having to just keep the car going and pick up the first win for himself and the team, and that's exactly what he's been able to do. And he did it in quite some style. Didn't really look like he was going to be challenged by anyone in the end. Riccardo and Brugman were just too far away, and we're never going to be able to even stick it up the inside or just dive bomb him at any point. So good effort by Van Woudenberg, a very well deserved win for him, and I'm sure that's going to give him a lot of confidence into the next round as well.
I'm sure it will do, and I'm sure we're going to have some quite interesting interviews coming up as well. And yeah, going to be great to interview people. And I think now might be a good time to start tracking people up. Do you?
Yeah, sounds perfect to me.
User was
well, speaking of them, here they come. And well, I would like to say hello very much to our first guest of the evening, which will be none other than the American sensation himself, Sven de Vries.
Howdy.
Great to have you with us, and a very howdy indeed. And yeah, 2 third places for you today, so that's quite good consistency you've had in race 1 and 2.
Yeah, it was not bad, obviously. It wasn't exactly the results I was hoping for, but other than that, I had a great time battling, especially race 1. I thought I had it in the bag, and I didn't think... I thought I was defending the line well, and Roy just made an amazing move, which caused Lars to also take advantage of that, so that left me back in third. Other than that, yeah, I mean, 2 podiums, not bad. Got a little bit unlucky. I think Simon Wupman or some other car suddenly respawned in me in race 3, so I flipped over at least 10 times, and then had to continue my way in 13th or so. But other than that, I think we scored some great points as a team. So it's been a good weekend for us.
Yeah, and yeah, a good race for you. Good too. Obviously, race 3 not so lucky, but playing the long game, you managed to get yourself more points, which will help the championship standings for you as a driver and as for Wouters Automotive as the team. So yeah, with your good places and Lars's win as well, must be a pretty good evening for you.
Yeah, I think Andreas is going to be pretty pleased when he sees the results, or maybe he watched the live stream and already knows. But yeah, no, it was a very good evening for us as a team.
I can imagine it would be, and yeah, good evening for you. Looking forward to the rest of the season as well. Not
Absolutely.
quite the race 3 you wanted, but still confident you can do it.
Well, I'm supposed to be starting a job in 2 or 3 weeks, so I should not be able to do any more races. But I'll be happy to watch back the replays of the awesome broadcasts you guys deliver. So I'll get my fun out of that.
Oh well, that is a shame to hear you won't be doing any more races, Sven. It's been an absolute pleasure to watch you race on that grid. You had some very, very good races for sure. Thank you very much for joining us for this season, though, and obviously you'll still be around in an admin capacity. As part of the WCS team. But are there any more words you'd like to give to the drivers before you do depart?
Keep doing what you're doing. I mean, so far, from what I've been able to see, everybody's delivering awesome battles. There seems to be quite a lot of respect for each other on the track, so that's good to see. And I hope people remember, if someone gives you a tap 9 out of 10 times, it's an accident. It's not always on purpose. So try to look at it with a positive side. Watch the replays after, and if needed, submit tickets so we can take care of it. Most of all, have fun.
Yeah, that's what it's all about at the end of the day. Thank you very much for joining us, Sven de Vries, and good. Best of luck in your new job.
Thanks.
And from one driver who don't know where I'm going with this sentence. From one driver, we move to another, and we're going to move on now to our race 2 winner, Lars Brugman.
Good evening.
Great to have you with us, Lars, and great race win for you in race 2, and you led home a 1-3 for Wouters Automotive in that, so that must be a great result for you two.
Yeah, it's great to to get so many points in this race. It's really good for the team and gives us a good position going forward.
Yep, and obviously, more points for you with the win and all that jazz to go along with it. It's going to help you. Obviously, you didn't do the first race, so that means you don't have any championship points, but you get some points on the board, which must be a good feeling.
Yeah, but this is probably the only race I'm going to do. I'm just standing in for Bart at this race, so yeah, we'll see. Maybe there's more races I'll do.
You can replace me.
Well, certainly he's getting word in there. I was about to say, though, Sven's off to his new job at the moment, so maybe you could find yourself in some sort of capacity as well as maybe even if you don't get the race seat, perhaps you could still be around if you ever needed as a standby. But it is good to have you around in this series, Lars, because, great to have you about and, the likes of that. And it has been fun doing the BMWs.
It's actually been a lot more fun than I anticipated. I'm usually not that kind of a touring car guy, so I didn't expect to like the cars, but they're really nice. I really enjoyed the racing today as well with Roy and Sven in the first race. It was amazing. Unfortunately, I couldn't quite win, but doesn't matter. No, I really enjoy the cars. They're great fun.
Yep, and that's what we like to hear, ultimately, people enjoying themselves. Thank you for joining us then, Lars, and hopefully we'll see you on track again soon.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see.
And we have now what I believe to be our final interview of the night, surprisingly. Only 3 interviews tonight, but still very high quality interviews anyway. I'd like to welcome none other than Roy Vizile.
Good evening, Joshua.
Roy, man, you've got to stop with these close finishes. You're going to give us a heart attack. What was that race 1 like for you?
Well, my heart stopped, I think, like 5 times in the race, not only with the finish. Another first race win, Joshua. How about that? It's your car.
Well, technically, yes, still, although I'm surprised your name hasn't been put on it yet. You deserve it more than I ever could.
We definitely have to change it for next race.
Well, it seems you've been giving you good luck recently. You've won 2 races now with my name on the car.
Yeah, that's good. No, it was an awesome race. I was just fighting for it. I was fighting for the win all the time. My pace was there. I was faster than Sven, and yeah, I think I matched the pace of Lars. So it was really close, and the battles were great. I followed Lars just to catch Sven with together, and then try to attack, and it worked out for me. So that was good. It was really, really close at the last corner. I had a poor exit, and Lars almost made it to a victory, but still, also if I didn't win it, it was a great race, and I enjoyed it. Second race, it was difficult. The pace was not there, and I destroyed my tires quite early in the race, and yeah, that cost me a spin as well. And I finished 7th in the last race. The pace wasn't there still, but I had some good battles, and I finished finally 4th. So that was good for the championship. Looking forward to the next rounds.
Yep, and I'm sure you will be looking forward to the next rounds. I know the other 2 races didn't quite go your way today, but it hasn't dampened your confidence for the rest of the season, has it? Because with drives like that in race 1, you could still definitely be on for the championship.
Yeah. I see it. Yes, I'm gonna try it, and hopefully I can win the championship. But I'm looking at race by race. So always trying to get the highest possible results.
Well, that's what it's all about, ultimately, looking at it race by race and going from there. And that's the sort of thing that wins you championships, not looking too far into the future. Thank you very much for joining us, Roy. A pleasure, as always, to have you in the booth with us.
Yeah, thank you as well for the great broadcast as well, and Menno for the cameras and everybody around.
Oh, yeah, indeed. Thank you very much, Roy. And that does round out the interview section of this event. So, any closing words from you, Sam?
Yeah, well, it's been great birth of fire really to jump in here and commentate on the BMWs today, and well, we got straight into it with an absolutely enthralling race 1. I can't believe how good that was throughout start to finish, and that truly epic finish as well. It was so close, and I couldn't call that one right up until they crossed the line. So really, really great fun. And again, 2 of 3 races, 2 of 3. Absolutely excellent. And I hope to see more of the same when we return in 2 weeks' time as well.
Yeah, indeed. And when we do come back in 2 weeks' time, we will be back with more BMW action. And next week, of course, we switch to the Formula 3 Championship as we do. And we'll obviously be switching commentators, Sam on lead commentary, me on co-commentary. But until that time, I've been Josh Brownson. And from me and everyone here at WCS, it's a very Austrian and very warm goodbye.